Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to do another lore breakdown. I've been having such a wonderful time looking at the lore of these characters and seeing how they were created, seeing the stories behind them, what the developers have to say, what articles. It's just been a blast. If you haven't seen the ones that I did in the past, go check it out. I have so many based on Tekken characters, and now I'm doing some based on Street Fighter. I did Jury, and I plan on doing so much more. So subscribe, like this video, and let's jump right into it. Starting off with the biography. The concept. It says Chun-Li was designed by Akira Yasuda. According to Akiman, Chun-Li was modeled after Tao from Shotaro Ishima Genma Wars Armageddon movie. I know I butchered that, but we just go keep on going. Which was the #1 box office anime movie in 1983. Chun-Li originally had big wide-legged pants and had a front and back apron. Akiman changed it because she didn't look very sexy and the design lacked visual impact and personality. Around the 11th hour, he experimented with her outfit, finally decided to give her bare legs and a bodycon dress, making her more like a professional wrestler. This became her final design for Chun-Li. The name Chun-Li is Mandarin for spring beauty. It's properly romanicized as Chun-Li in Pinyin and pronounced Chun-Li, despite Westerners commonly pronouncing it as Chun-Li. When talking about Chun-Li, you have to mention one of her greatest enemies, M. Bison.
Oh, this is delicious!
M. Bison is considered to be Chun-Li's greatest enemy, as well as the main antagonist for not just her story, but the entire Street Fighter lore. In Chun-Li's Street Fighter Alpha ending, M. Bison is the final boss in her arcade route. After making quick work of her, M. Bison reveals to Chun-Li that he was the one who killed her father. Since then, Chun-Li has sworn to avenge her father, and that motivation had continued to be a driving force for her well up until the fall of the Shadow Loop.
You killed my... Yes, I killed your father. What is it with you women anyway? I killed my father too, and you don't hear me whining about it.
Now, for those of you who don't know what the Shadow Loop is, that's basically M. Bison's clan, his faction, his gang, his empire. M. Bison basically dominated Street Fighter from 1 all the way up until Street Fighter Third Strike, which is the last game in chronological order. And we'll talk about what happened to Chun-Li after the fall of Shadow Loop, because Street Fighter 6 will be picking up where Third Strike leaves off. But before we do that, we have to mention Cammy. Cammy and Chun-Li are close friends and usually stay in contact with each other. They mention each other's names frequently and usually team up with Gaia when it comes to fighting the Shadow Loop. Chun-Li is also the one whom Cammy normally asks about in normal life, such as when she asks Chun-Li about whether the bond between Laura and Sean can be considered a typical sibling relationship. I don't know what that sentence means, but one of the real die-hard Street Fighter fans may be able to explain this. She also consults with Cammy when Ken was fighting for his family instead of staying behind and protecting them. Chun-Li states that there are some that cannot be avoided, especially when you must protect someone, similar to how her father protected her in her youth. In Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Chun-Li and Cammy are partners. The two of them work together to discover the secrets of Pandora Box, as well as to investigate why the Shadow Loop and the Mishima Zaibatsu are attempting to secure it. Even in non-canon projects, these two are back to back. And honestly, I'm not sure. Wait, Cammy was one of the characters who leaked for Street Fighter 6, so she'll be there too. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if her trailer is the one that is shown at the Tokyo Game Show. That will be taking place probably the same time as this video goes up, but I would not be surprised if that's what happens. Jumping into the actual story now for Chun-Li. Early life. At the age of 5, Chun-Li saw her first classical Chinese play, Peking opera. And her first Bruce Lee movie, which fascinated her and also became a part of the reason why she started practicing martial arts. She began learning Tai Chi. However, Tai Chi was much different from the gorgeous movement she remembered from Peking opera. Soon afterwards, her father taught her Hong Kwang, as well as very basic exercises from then on. With that, Chun-Li's skills in Chinese martial arts improved rapidly. Chun-Li used mostly kicks when fighting. This was something she picked up from her father, who was also said to have legendary legs. Chun-Li continued to develop her kicks attacks, embracing the techniques from a variety of fighting styles, such as Chinese martial arts, capoeira, battle karate, and taekwondo, thus eventually creating her own style. That's pretty cool. So many different types of fighting styles incorporated into one. Chun-Li later became a detective at the age of 18 in hopes of finding her missing father. She later followed her father's footsteps and became a narcotics investigator at the ICPO, also known as Interpol, working as the organization Anti-Shadaloo Investigators. Chun-Li was known as the black sheep of the ICPO. As she was investigating Shadaloo for illegal narcotics and weapons, she said the evil organization got their hold of the high-ups of Interpol. So basically corrupted the organization. And from this point on, her, Guile, Cammy, Nash, Ryu, Ken, a lot of these characters have been fighting Bison and trying to take him down ever since. They've been working so incredibly hard. And at the end of Street Fighter V, all of these games later, they finally did the job. I was going to read the lore of each individual game, but it really is just a back and forth tug of war between Bison and the good guys. This game, Bison wins, the next game, the other guys win. And they really go back and forth all the way up until Street Fighter V when Bison is killed. Now, I don't want to make this video about Bison, but you have to talk about his return. There's a major thing happening right now in Tekken and Street Fighter. Both of those games have been dictated by one bad guy. For Street Fighter, it's been Bison. For Tekken, it's been Heihachi. And in the latest entry of both Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, both of them are dead. Heihachi was killed, Bison was killed. And now you have this big mystery in the air for both communities. Will they return? I know a lot of people in the Tekken community want Heihachi to return. I would assume the same is said for Bison. Bison, believe it or not, is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Not fighting game characters, but video game characters of all time. But even in that sense, I would still be okay with him not being in Street Fighter 6. If they really wanted to move on and leave that character in the past, I would bite the bullet and just say it's for the better. Because these characters defined a whole generation, multiple generations. And at a certain point, you have to make room for the next. Bison and Heihachi did all they can do, and it's time for something new. Street Fighter Third Strike is the start of that something new. For Chun-Li, it says after events of Street Fighter V and the Shadaloo's fall, Chun-Li finally makes peace and retires from street fighting to teach martial arts to orphans while still doing police work. Yurine kidnaps Li Fin for his scientific projects, which prompts Chun-Li to go out into the world again and find her. She challenges him once she finds him and gets Li Fin back. She goes back to China and goes back to teaching martial arts. In Street Fighter 6, in the trailer, this is where we saw her. All the information we have about Chun-Li in Street Fighter 6 right now, it says a former high-kicking ICPO agent, Chun-Li looks after Li Fin, a victim of the Black Moon incident. With the Shadowloo's surrender, she now runs Kung Fu classes and has become a well-loved member of the local community. Ever since Shadowloo's fall, Chun-Li has gained more philosophical perspective. She now wears a white base outfit that inherits the tradition from the series. She lives in a calm but radiant manner. The one thing that I want to stress with these lore breakdowns is how Bison is really gone. He has been the driving force for so long, and if you think about it, in a way, the universe kind of was reset. A lot of people say reboot these franchises, but simply by getting rid of the villain, killing the villain, and having all of these characters, move on. That is the fresh start we need. That is the fresh beginnings. Now you can introduce a new villain. You can maybe turn a hero into a villain. The possibilities here is endless. And for a character like Chun-Li, with the role she's playing with Li Fin and the ICPO agent, now is a perfect opportunity to make something magical with this character all over again. That is what's brilliant about these fighting games. One commitment, a big commitment, but one commitment, and now the story is interesting again. That's going to be it for my little discussion about Chun-Li. I just want to keep taking looks at these characters to refresh my memory and all of yours. Street Fighter 6 is going to be awesome, and I really want to take the time to just look at these characters and just learn as much as I can. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and also leave a like on this video. That's going to be it. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.